Hello, welcome to Painting the Cape. I'm Lance. In this episode, I'll be painting Andrews Community Garden in Falmouth. Grab your paints and let's get started. Okay, we're going to start off by, I'm going to show you my palette. Here it is, and here are the colors that I'm using for today. We start off with cadmium red light, and then alizarin crimson. The next is burnt sienna, cad yellow medium, lemon yellow, yellow ochre, raw umber, sap green, turquoise blue, ultramarine blue, ivory black, purple, and titanium white. I'm painting on a 24 by 32 inch panel. It's a Luan, it's a plywood, and I've coated it out with a background color to make a sunny day. Now what I'm doing here is I'm sketching in, I'm looking at the scene, but I'm going at it as at a bird's eye view. In other words, looking down. Even though I'm on the level with it, I'm going to do the painting today looking down on the scene. So I have to use my imagination on what it's going to look like. So here I am, just kind of laying out the pattern of the different separate little patches of garden that we have here. And when I'm doing it, I'm trying to make the shapes a little bit different from each other so they all read separately. I'm using the burnt sienna to draw with because it's transparent, and if I want to take something off or add something, it's real easy. I'm just using a rag and some Turpenoid to put on the paint really fast. I'm putting in the sky. This is like a turquoise sky with a little bit of ultramarine blue in it. I'm just kind of working around the tops of the trees and the holes that are in the trees. I work kind of fast, and then I tighten it up later as I go along. Just get the general feel of it. Because once again, I can take it off really easy by just using some Turpenoid and a rag. Now I'm putting in the darkest darks first over the drawing that we did in burnt sienna. And I'm just letting it happen. Now I'm adding the light side where the light is hitting the trees with a yellow ochre. I'm using three different. I use I'm just using the three primaries, red, yellow, and blue, but I have a warm version, a cool version, and a dull version of the same color. This is the yellow ochre, and then I'm going a little brighter by using some cad medium yellow. Now I'm putting in the little figures with a brush, and I just kind of work on seeing in my mind's eye what they would look like in a silhouette form. And once again, I can always change them, repaint them until I get them the way I want. Now the next thing is I tighten it up by doing a little outline around the figure, so that way I can cut things off or add things, different areas of the figure. So I'm just shaping it. The reason I hold my brush like I do is so I can move my whole arm, not just move my fingers. If I move the whole arm and try to keep my hand steady, I can make the brush stroke more controlled. So I'm testing out to see if the value is going to read. So if I'm doing a dark figure, I want to do a light background cut in. We'll have a special edition on how to mix colors soon. But for now, it's good to take a brush. If you practice your drawing, then you just learn how to draw with a brush instead of a pencil. And I'm mainly working in straight lines. In other words, even if I'm doing a circle, I'll do it in straight lines and keep changing the angle, Now I made a couple crows up in a tree to our right there. So it's truly a bird's eye view of the scene. Every once in a while, I'll get back and take a look at the whole thing to make sure everything is reading. So now what I'm doing, I'm using a rag and a little bit of Turpenoid to just take off some paint, and it'll show the background color shining through, so it gives the feel of a trunk or limbs. So now I'm defining those little shapes. Each person has their own little plot of land that they put their garden on. It's really nice of Maria Andrews to put this garden together for local people can have their own little garden. So I'm just quickly looking at the scene and trying to get different shapes, light and dark shapes. I'm putting in the little pathway between the different plots of land. And again, I'm concentrating on contrast. So the different little plots will read. Now I'm trying to make where the crows are, the ground underneath that, there were plots, other gardens, but it would have been confusing to the shape of the crows. So I'm just simplifying that and just make it rows down below the crows. And now I'm just going back and confirming. After I work real fast at the beginning and kind of just put it on there, then I go back and confirm what is working. The main thing when you're mixing the color, the main thing is to get the value right. And you have to have contrast, dark behind light and light behind dark. And if the color's not exactly right, as long as the value and the temperature is correct, it's going to work. And then you can always tweak it at the end to bring it around the way you want. The place that you want the most contrast is the subject, and in this case, it's the people working in the garden. And the crows looking down. Stick in a couple eyes here on the crows. When I'm putting the fence in, I have breaks in the line where the sun would hit it or not hit it, and so it's kind of a broken line. The main thing is you're trying to get the feeling of the place. Now I'm going back and confirming the shape of the crows. Now I'm going back and putting a little more detail on the different plants. And just get the feeling of it. Okay, there it is, roughed in. And now the next thing we're going to do is work on the different edges. And here it is, the finished painting. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.